Back during the end of the life cycle for Black Ops 4 Zombies, I made a video titled "The One Thing in Zombies That's Never Let Us Down," and what that video was about was none other than the sound team, or more specifically the music team in Zombies. Like, you just think about how this sound team has been in the past, even back when Zombies was in its infancy, where not much was going on. Like, even in Nocturne Tone, the music was still there, and of course it was pretty bare bones. It just had the bare minimum, like the spawn in music, round change music, and the game over music, but still it was still there. They ignore the importance of the music, especially to set the tones of these maps. Of course, it took a huge step forward inside Black Ops 2 Zombies, where it really took that next step and became just like so amazing. And you think about every map since then, the music has really complemented the atmosphere and really been the reason why these atmospheres for these maps have been so freaking good. And like, you think about so many maps, obviously Mob of the Dead, Origins, the Reisendrache, Revelations is probably the one that's done this like really well out of all of them, and even Blood of the Dead and Black Ops 4, like, it was still incredibly good. But of course, since I'm talking about it in this sense, you probably know where I'm going with this now. And it's that in Cold War Zombies, I hate to say it, but this is the first time I've been disappointed with the music in a Zombies game. And I'm not just saying this because I personally don't like the music and it's just not my thing, and obviously that's subjective and people could like different things. And even if I don't personally like Nine's soundtrack at all, I still appreciate Nine's soundtrack. But that's not what I'm talking about at all. Instead of what I'm talking about is that the lack of music that you hear when you are playing this game, like, it's just not there. And I just don't really understand why Treyarch decided to go back to their like Nocturne Tone style, where the only real music you get is the spawn in music, round change music, and game over music. Of course, I'm not going to forget that there is a lot of music that plays during the Easter egg, but most of the time you're playing Zombies, you're not doing the Easter egg. But if you guys don't believe me that there is just a lack of music in this game, then I'd like to actually present to you these waveforms. And the reason I'm presenting these to you is because what I did here is that I jumped into two different maps. One was Firebase Z and one was Garage Crovy, and choosing Garage Crovy was generous too. Not going to explain why, but for the people who know, you know. Either way, what I did was turn off all sound but the music. So the only music that was being sent to this was just the music. So no other sounds were being recorded in this besides the music, and this will be reflected in the waveforms. And in these games, all I did was just get to Pack Punch and then Pack Punch and then ended the game from there. So I didn't do anything else. I wasn't doing anything special. And just by looking at these two waveforms alone, you could see that there is just not any music in this game. Like, you just look at this one that's Firebase Z right now, like, you'll see music pop up every now and then. The round change is really the only main source of it, and then also the ether generators when you're doing theirs, congratulations, they got those, but really there's nothing else. And then we jump over to Garage Crovy, and again, just looking at these waveforms, like, there's just constantly music playing in this game. Like, you just hear music, and this is incredibly annoying because of many reasons, but like, one of them is that you just don't have those musics to set the tones of these different rooms that you enter into. Like, the best example of this is when you first enter into the church in the Reisendrache, because when you first enter there, it lets you know this is a grand room. Like, this room is like significant because it plays that music like doom. Like, I'm not going to actually sing it. I can't sound like instruments, I apologize. But regardless, like, you first enter into these rooms and you hear the music and it sets the tone, it sets the atmosphere of these rooms. And just imagine if they just had something like that inside of Cold War Zombies. When you entered into a significant room, just let us know through the music that this is a significant room, this room is important. But that's just something Treyarch just decided this time that no. And then more than that, they also decided to just get rid of all ambient music, all the music that just like is real quiet for the most part, but it's still there and just kind of sets the tone of the different rooms you're in. If you're inside the power room on Garage Crovy, you'll get one song. If you're inside a different room in Garage Crovy, you'll get a different song. And just setting the tones for these rooms, they decided to remove that too. But now I want to show you guys a couple examples of this in-game, comparing Garage Crovy, or 3 clips from Garage Crovy, to 3 clips of Firebase Z. Unfortunately, as you heard, we had 3 clips of Garage Crovy, all 3 of them playing some ambient music to match the tone of that room, and different ambient songs for each room. And you compare that over to Firebase Z, and a whole lot of nothing no matter which room you are in. And what this does is incredibly damage the atmosphere of these maps, because you just don't have the feeling of these rooms, like the importance of them or the tone they're trying to set of these rooms. Like, we just don't have that through the music we're getting, and instead we just walk into these rooms and it's completely silent in terms of music. And as I mentioned, it really hurts the atmosphere and the feel and the tone they're trying to set of these different rooms inside there. And because of that, it really just makes these rooms just feel like another room. Like, it's just another room. This room isn't important, it's just one of the other rooms in the map, right? And you compare that to back during Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, Black Ops 2, and you just like, you think about when you enter into rooms and you just know that this room has a tone to it, like this room is this way, and it just doesn't have that this time around. And I really hope that this is not something that Treyarch decides to continue into the future, because it is just not a good idea, and it really hurts the atmosphere of these maps. Like, these maps just don't feel as special without these songs and without this music setting the tone and setting the atmosphere and really giving these maps more character, which is something that I promise you, Treyarch, your game needs, because we don't got any, dude. We literally don't got any character to this game, and you know, we need at least something. And the music and the sound team, just, they could do that. They could at least add something to it, set an atmosphere, set a mood to these maps. But instead, nope, that's not what they've chosen done. Hopefully it's something that Treyarch reconsiders, because this is just not something that I think is a good idea to continue in the future. And it really feels like a step back, all the way back to Black Ops 1 in terms of sound design and music in your games. And I just don't understand why we need to go all the way back to 2010. It's literally 2021. So regardless, that's all I really have to say. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. Do you agree or disagree with me here? Do you think that the ambient music is something that is really missed, and also the music that plays when you enter in the rooms is really missed? Or do you think it's not that big of a deal? Maybe you're someone who doesn't like music, so this isn't a big deal at all to you. But Regardless, that's about it for me. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on everything I had to say. Like, I already asked for that, but we'll ask for it again. Regardless, if you guys did enjoy the video, definitely do all the normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, bell, share, and all that great stuff. But I'm going to go, and I'll catch you guys in the next stream, video, or wherever the heck it may be, and laters, guys.